Welcome back to another episode, guys. My Big Dogs prep has officially started. I sat down with my coach at the start of this week just to go over the rough game plan for the prep. Pretty exciting stuff happening. There's going to be some really big lifts in the gym. I should comfortably clear my best competition total in the gym, which I'm hoping to have a bit more in the tank with that as well. So pretty exciting stuff going on. So first session here, even though this is officially the start of my prep, we decided to just take it a bit easy. My body was feeling a bit cooked from the last week of the off season and then a little bit of traveling and I guess handling that you would call it that I did on the weekend. So yeah, just taking a bit easier tonight. So we had some top sets of 180 kilos for 5 triples. As you can see, I'm in my comp setup, or close to my comp setup as I can be. So that'll take a bit of getting used to. I've got the Avances shoes on, which I'm going to use throughout the prep. Normally I like to just bench in barefoot, but I really want to get used to these shoes so they don't feel foreign on comp day. But I really like them. Give me enough grip that I actually feel like I'm getting some leg drive. So you can see set 1, 180 for a triple, really easy. All the sets felt really comfortable, really easy, but as you do with ending a big off season, some of my joints and stuff felt a bit shitty. So again, I started really light for the start of this prep, but yeah, everything moved really comfortable. After the 5 triples, we had I guess you can call it a back down set of 8 with close grips, which ended up being 180 kilos anyway for a set of 8. Again, I think we're going to push out pretty hard throughout this prep, which I'm pretty keen on. It's always nice to hit some PBs on some back down sets, especially if it's close grips, that sort of stuff, but we'll probably end up peaking it to be something ridiculous. Hopefully like about a 230 close grip would be nice, give or take a little bit, but yeah, pretty keen to push those and just get my tricep strength up as well. Shoulders and chest are already pretty strong. I feel like if anything, it'd be my triceps that need to sort of catch up. As you can see, my last triple here, and obviously it's moving just like an empty bar. It's not really that hard. We'll ramp up pretty quick. So next week, I think I'll probably have like 200 kilos on my main sets. Again, triples. We're going to push triples for sort of as long as we can before dropping it down to doubles. Hopefully we can double 225, 230. But we'll really just have to sort of see. Bench at the moment is a bit unknown. Everything's been going really well. My overhead and my incline bench, the strength there is just like a lot more than what I thought it would be. So, a bit unsure of where we'll end up with my bench, to be honest, but it's exciting stuff. Okay, so squats. So this is my first wrapped squat session since my pro roll prep. So, I don't know, whenever we started that, the start of the year. So it's been a good 8 months since I've been in wraps. So pretty keen to get back into them, actually. So first session, 285 for 3 sets of 5. Obviously, if you've been following along, that's stuff that I can do bare knees without the wraps. Again, we'll jump up pretty fast in this prep. But for the time being, I'm happy to start on something pretty light. Can use all the practice I can get in the wraps and with adding the flat shoes as well. Sort of 2 components that I'll have to get used to. I mean, this is like my fourth or third session in the flat shoes, which they still feel really good. But then I've got to add wraps on top of those to, really dial in technique and that sort of stuff. But 285 is a pretty easy starting point. Like I said, we'll probably jump to over 300 next week. But the squats themselves felt really good. All my warm-ups felt good. My body was, like I said, for bench, it was a bit sore. Just some of my joints just feeling a bit shitty, but it is what it is. So again, happy to take this as a light week, a bit of a deload before we start pushing things a bit further. I will be monitoring depth pretty closely as well. If you watched any of the last few episodes, especially now that I'm in the flat shoes, I really need to make sure that I'm hitting depth pretty consistently. My warm-ups felt good, but when I added on the wraps, it was a bit harder to tell where depth was. My second set was probably the best in terms of depth and hitting depth, although I will say that I still think I do need to sink it a little bit lower, just to be sure of it. I got someone to watch my third set, and technique-wise, I sort of just, didn't have my feet in the right spot, so I felt a bit awkward, but you can see pretty much from the start, a little bit wonky. Not horrible on depth there, although the speed of the squats is fine. Again, this is not a good angle really to judge depth, but even from this angle, I still think that there's a couple inches to go before I can call it comfortably depth. That one was probably the best rep of that set, actually, that last one. So second set here, this is one I thought I probably did the best. Just in terms of depth and just how they felt as well. Second set always better in wraps, but yeah, like you can see that I am sinking a bit more. Still really fast squats. But again, it's 280. But yeah, I'm really happy with the depth of these, but I still think that there's a little bit. I need to go a little bit deeper. That was probably perfect, that one. But again, and that one as well actually looked alright. But again, I need to make every rep perfect. They all need to be to depth. So this was probably the worst one, the last set. My setup where my feet usually go, I have my feet pointing like dead on straight. You can already see from the first rep that it's a bit awkward. I was trying to sink these, but I couldn't push out my knees and then like let my hips drop just because of where my feet were positioned. My toes were just pointed dead straight, which is not how I squat. So next week I'll just make that adjustment and they'll be better. But obviously still super easy reps as expected. So apologies to anyone that wanted to see some heavy overhead press. That is now out of my program. We've got some chains back in the program. These have helped tremendously throughout my last few preps with my bench. Sort of just overloading the tricep. I guess my triceps feeling like super strong. So really happy that these are back in my program. I didn't record any of the warm-ups or anything. I just kind of couldn't be bothered. But 165 kilos plus chains for 3 sets of 6. The chains weigh about 25 kilos, but I don't really focus too much on what they actually weigh. I only worry about the bar weight and making sure that we're increasing that every week. Again, we might take a bigger jump next week. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, this is something that I really want to peak to something really heavy. So maybe 210, 215 plus chains. If the chains are about 25 kilos, then you're looking at, if it's 210, you're looking at 235 with the chains. And I think if I can get that for a nice clean single, good pause, then that's just a bonus. And at that stage, I'll know that my triceps are strong enough to bench what I want to bench in comp. So we did keep incline bench though. We just want to maintain the strength that I've gotten from my overhead and my incline bench, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to keep pushing the incline. So we'll probably not peak this, as we already did that in the off season when I benched the 500 pounds, but we'll probably get up to some really heavy sets of 4, maybe push some triples. I think, what did I hit? I think I hit 210 for some triples. If I can increase that to 215 for some triples, or even just multiple sets of 4 at 210, then I consider that a huge win on incline, and I know that it'll be as strong as it ever has. You can see me sort of slowing down on this sort of set. Again, trying to make sure that I pause these, but I just had a little bit of joint pain again. Nothing to really worry about, but it'll be probably fine by next week, I imagine. And finally, deadlifts. So this prep for my deadlifts is going to be sort of unlike anything I've done previously. Instead of doing the standard 3x5s and 2x5s and all that and then slowly peaking it, we're just going to do some singles consistently. So realistically, I know that I'm strong enough to pull, 360 to 380. I think I'm 370 to 380 really, but if I can't get my technique right, then I'm definitely not pulling 800 pounds. So our deadlift prep this time around is going to be more singles, more just dialing in technique work, and just going from there. Really, pretty excited about it though as well. It will keep me more fresher for squats, which means we can push those really hard, which I'm keen on because we should hit something really nice in the gym. So this session, 270 kilos, for 3 singles. Not that 270 is heavy or hard in any realm, but just like the other days, a good easy starting point to give my body some rest before we pick it up next week. I will try to pull somewhere near 800 pounds in the gym before big dogs. We'll just have to sort of see how it's going. But these others honestly felt like air. None of this felt really hard. I mean, 270's pretty chill. So I want to add about 100 kilos. I felt like this was probably the best rep of the 3. I did try to get my feet a little closer on the 3rd, but I didn't quite like how it felt at the bottom position. So I think this sort of technique here is the one that I'll try to emulate consistently. But still, easy reps. I'll let this last rep play, but thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys will actually be able to watch big dogs either there in person or on the stream. But yeah, hopefully we can put on a show and you guys can have a bit of fun.